How's it going, Gumi Gang? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing awesome. First things first, I am struggling a little bit with a sore throat, so if I sound a little bit different, that's probably why, so just bear with me as I try to get through this video. But with today's video, we're going to be revisiting the Lockwood 300 again, but not with the dual trigger, so take everything you know about the dual trigger, throw it away. We're not going to use it. We talked about it. That's enough of that. We're basically looking at the base gun. So basically it's a doof, 2 shots right in a reload. We all know the double barrels, how they work. That's essentially what we're going to be using, but with Dragon's Breath. Now this was brought to my attention by Dave over on Twitter, also known as Mr. Fuentes2105. He basically posted some clips of him using the Lockwood 300 with just Dragon's Breath. Again, no dual trigger. And he looked like he was doing quite a bit of damage, and he was positive there was some sort of one-shot potential that I needed to look at. So naturally, I go in game, go to Plunder, start testing stuff out, and it does look like for whatever reason, with Dragon's Breath on this gun, the base gun, again, for the third time, no dual trigger, you can actually one-shot kill people with just Dragon's Breath equipped. I have no idea why, but of course I also want to shout out sim.gg. They actually put up all the new stats for the new Warzone integration. It is all live on Sim, so go check it out. But if you take a look at the Lockwood 300 with Dragon's Breath, you basically deal 500 damage with the Dragon's Breath equipped if you were aiming down sights. What you see on sim.gg is all aim down sights values. It's the best you can get, and you deal 500 per shot. Now with the dual trigger, you deal about 545, so it's not better than that, but you can actually do a follow-up. So what's crazy about this is you can actually go boom, one shot down someone, and then boom, one shot down someone again, basically super fast. So with the amount of damage this thing does and its quick follow-up shot, if you basically just shoot both your shots really fast, you can basically output like 1,000 damage in 300 milliseconds because of its rate of fire, which is probably the craziest thing we've actually seen in Warzone when it comes to how much damage you can output in that kind of time. So yes, this is probably unintentional. This is probably going to get nerfed. You're dealing 500 damage per shot, which means per pellet you're dealing 100 damage. All you really need to do is hit 3 of your 8 pellets, hit fire, aim down sight, it doesn't matter, and they're pretty much dead. And while of course your gut instinct is probably going to say that's broken, that's OP, and yes, it is kind of broken in that sense because you shouldn't be dealing that much damage. It doesn't have a crazy far one-shot kill range. In fact, if you take a look at the base one-shot kill range, it's only out to about 2.7 meters with Dragon's Breath. Outside of that, out to 5.3. You basically have to aim down sights to get a 2-shot kill. Past 5.3 meters, it's not going to 2-shot or 1-shot at all. It's a 3-shot. So essentially, if you're under 5 meters, that's really where you want to be with this thing. And if you put on the big barrel and you put on one of the suppressors, it takes your 1-shot up to about 3.4 and your 2-shot out to 6.8. So all in all, it's not like incredibly crazy in the grand scheme of things. You're not going to be going to lobbies and 2-shot and 1-shotting at like 30 meters, 20 meters, 15. No, it's like sub 7 at most for a 2-shot, and for the 1-shot, it's 3.4. Now, granted, it does deal 500 damage if you're aiming down sights at point blank, which I don't think should really be happening. But in terms of like all the kind of crazy things we've seen in Warzone, this is probably one of the more tame things in some sense, because again, there's that balance of having a 2-shot and a 1-shot range that aren't really that good. But man, oh man, when this thing works, it works. Let me tell you, it is so much fun when someone slides around the corner thinking they got the drop on you, and you just hit fire and 1-shot them, and then their Sweatlord buddy on their booty sliding in towards you, you basically 1-shot them because you have such a fast follow-up with so much damage. It's a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie, and Warzone is a bit stale at the moment, so I would say if you're looking for something new to try out that's very high risk, high reward, try this out, because it is quite a bit of fun. Now, if you want a good class setup to try for it, I'm basically rocking one of the suppressors that gives you range, like the Seiken DB107. I'm rocking the 711 barrel because you can't tac stance with the biggest barrel for some reason. I'm a tac stance guy, so I'm rocking the next best one. And then we have the high stock mod Kimura Rye Laser Light, and of course, Dragon's Breath, which really is a secret sauce to make this work, to get that 500 damage per shot. Now again, keep in mind the 1-shot range and even the 2-shot range, not super great. So if you're really like aggressive, if you're an aggressive player, you can close that gap really well. This is going to be a ton of fun to use. And again, so much damage, it's crazy. So you guys have to try this out. And with this build past the 6-meter mark, again, it's going to take more than 2 shots. So pray you're in that range. Pray you hit your shots well and get that 2-shot or that 1-shot if you're really close. As for my thoughts overall on this build, it's super fun, it's hilarious. Just go ahead and use it. It's probably going to get patched. Again, it's not like crazy broken. It is overpowered in a sense, but it's not going to be dominating lobbies at every distance. Just keep that in mind. But it's a ton of fun. I definitely encourage you guys to try it out because I don't think we've ever had the Lockwood 300 like without the dual trigger be this strong. So it's nice to see it's actually viable in some respects without having to use the damn dual trigger. So as always, I want to know down below in the comments, what do you guys think about this? Are you excited to see that the Lockwood 300 is usable without the dual trigger? Do you think that this is just blatantly overpowered even though it doesn't have really much range at all? And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.